WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I don't know shit about fuck.
See, the day is wasted if you don't learn something new. Oh, man. What's going on, everybody? What's today? Today's the 15th day of October, 2021. We're almost to Halloween in the middle of spooky season here, so let the Halloween memes start flying.
I'm seeing Christmas crap already, and it's driving me insane.
Man, I went shopping last week. They forgot something, or they said they couldn't find anything. I do my curbside pickup and shit for groceries. They missed something because they said they didn't have it, and I knew that they had it, so I went into the store and got it. And dude, they got Christmas trees and all kinds of stuff up. Home Depot's got Christmas stuff.
I was about to say Lowe's looks the same exact way.
Lowe's always has a good Christmas selection, but it's just weird seeing it before Halloween. Ooh, Cassidy Pope says, let me just start off by saying that my BLC instructor said that he thinks the earth is flat. I guess we can talk to William Shatner about that. He just went up in a penis rocket.
What's basic leader? Oh, basic.
It's PLDC.
Okay.
It's what they call PLDC.
Yeah,
now.
I was like my brain was trying to. They used to call it like Warrior or something, and now I remember PLDC. Okay, now it's BLC. So okay, I got you.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard for me to grasp that. So it's like BLC, and then you have BNOC is something else, and then ANOC is something else.
Someone's gonna get their name attached to something because they changed the name of it.
Well, it's always a new acronym. I mean, I'm working in research and development for aviation, and the military has designed or decided on like new acronyms for stuff. I haven't learned the new acronyms yet. I mean, just from the last aircraft that we built to the one that we're building now, the same company, obviously, but we're supposed to call it something else. No.
I will agree with the it's still a waste of time thing, because especially in today's digital age, you can do all that crap online, minus the whole basic training drill.
Right,
crap.
right.
But don't understand drill is part of the discipline aspect of things. I get you on that, but who needs it? I can be a good leader without having to know how to go, left, right, left.
You know what? Learning how to call cadence in a run like during PT, that takes a little bit of talent and breath control. I suck at it. I always sucked at it.
I like that. You just learn new ways to sham. Way to go, Jim.
DNC and PT. There you go. Everything else is online right now. I mean, efficiency, I guess, it holds some merit.
I don't know about that. I can't get into that one. Leave that for another show.
you leave it for a Sergeant's Time episode, which we have word from the man himself that he's coming back on the air. He said at the end of the month, and then I replied to him. I said, "Which month?" And he said, "This month." So between Monday and the end of the month, ICE is going to be back with the Monday edition and Sergeant's Time. And Spanky's going to be there too, right? Spanky's still doing the Sergeant's Time stuff.
I believe so.
Even though she has more adulty things to do, she's going to be doing Sergeant's Time. So that's really awesome. She's a very important part of the team. It'd suck to lose her. Run fast or else you're a horrible leader. Yeah, that's what I heard, man. If you're the faster you run, the better leader you are. Now, what about these Army soldiers or these military, just I don't even know what branch of service, I think they were Army, that ran in the Olympics, like setting freaking records for marathons and shit, running 4-minute miles. And
future sergeant majors of the Army. 4-star generals.
So I actually had a day off today, which was really, really nice. I normally take Sundays off, but I work Saturdays and I work my off Fridays. And on the way home from work yesterday, my team lead called me and he goes, "Man, just don't, you don't have to. You don't have to come in tomorrow if you don't want to." I'm like the only dude that shows up and works overtime. Everyone else is just, they do their 9 and they're out, and it's me and my team lead that stay there. We're like the first in and we're the last to leave. So that's pretty cool. Got a day off today. Went to the VA to set up an appointment. I just need to get out of the house. It's all the stuff that could be handled over the phone. So I just drove there. It's only a couple miles. It's only a couple of miles away from the house. So then they're like, "Oh, you're eligible for the poke in the arm with the juice that's supposed to keep you from getting ill." We're not going to talk about any of that shit tonight because we got hemmed up from YouTube last week because we did a pretty long segment on that thing, that illness that is plaguing the land right now, and I'll bet you 99% of it was I was just reading and commenting on stories that were like written I didn't make it up. I didn't come up with those things. So I was just kind of regurgitating some news, and we got hemmed up by YouTube for that. So that's not going to happen tonight. But anyway, they're like, you're eligible for the booster, and I'm just like, considering I got 1 and number 2, and then I still got it, I think I'm gonna pass at least for now. No pressure. They didn't.
Idea.
What's that?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got the.
It'll be all right.
I got the little antibody, little swimmers in my veins. With little,
I need to go get my actual flu shot. I'm about due for that. So.
Yeah, we got our flu shots are coming up this week. So I think it's this week. What date is today? Yeah, the 18th.
Beginning of the flu season, so I usually try to get it because I don't like the flu sucks. So.
Yep. Yeah, we got on the 18th they got a crew coming to the hangar, and they're gonna zap everybody. In the meantime, all the people that don't want to get the thing, the thing for the other thing, the poke for the other thing, they're being forced to cease their employment with the company.
Oh, that's working well for a couple companies, but I don't want to get that.
Yeah, right. And I'd also just like to say, since I'm not talking about this, right?
No, we're not.
Since I'm not talking about this, I read something and it was really, really interesting about it's just and all these memos that we get at work are like, because of the executive order. Someone said that, everyone's kind of touting this as an executive order, but if you look on the Federal Register, there's not a record of this. This is pretty much the text of something that that Biden said during a press conference, or a speech rather. And all of a sudden it's an executive order. But it's not. Anyway, how was your week?
Oh, you know me, man. I don't do much during the week. I've actually been, me and a couple of my friends have been programming a Hunger Games version of Minecraft. That's what we've been doing.
Hunger Games version of Minecraft. I'm familiar with Hunger Games.
Yes.
I've never played Minecraft, so break it down Barney style for me.
It's this. We built a map and we set certain programs in there, and certain triggers, and it starts out, everyone pops up out of the ground, and then they go to town and try to kill each other. So it's been a quite interesting 14 days. I've been about 14 days we've been working on it. We built it from the ground up. Pretty much.
Sounds like a fun game.
Oh yeah. It's been fun.
Oh, I have to wish you a happy hand washing day.
What?
Happy hand washing day.
Okay.
Mom had this on her. This is the October 15th is National Hand Washing Day. I missed it. Maybe next year I'll wash my hands. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. You only wash your hands once a year.
That's right. Well, Jim Handy says Minecraft is awesome. I found 22 ancient debris today. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
Well, I've got several coworkers that have kids that do play Minecraft. My kids never really got into the gaming thing. They did it a little bit. They played. I don't even know what they played. It was just silly stuff. You pay like $4 a month and you get to do these things. I don't even know. I don't even know what they were. They were just silly games.
Sounds like Fortnite.
What's up, Raph? How you doing, man? Good to see you. So I guess we got to begin this thing. My kids are 11 and 13. I don't get to play. Yeah, I guess you got to fight for the controller. Control of the controller. So we've already covered. Let me see. Ice is coming back. So that might be next week. It might be the week after that. I just thought it was funny. I asked him which month. He's been on sabbatical for a while.
He had to go visit all the Buddhist temples in Japan.
Oh, he's going to be like Zen Buddha Ice now. He's going to.
He went on a pilgrimage.
He's been woo-sawing all over the lower 48 states. Hello, Mr. Willis. Back from JRTC, Lewis. Welcome back. Did you learn anything? Or is JRTC something that can be done online too?
Pretty much anything in the Army can be done via email.
So have you? When I left, the gate guards at the military installations that I was stationed at, we had the little T barriers, the little short T barriers, and that was about it. And it was just kind of like a zigzag. You go zigzag through the T barriers,
Like a serpentine kind of serpentine. Yeah.
But now they got some of these bases, like the Little Rock Air Force Base in Little Rock, Arkansas, that has these barriers that like that come up from the ground. Those are pretty cool. I mean, Air Force gets all the cool stuff.
Yeah, there's also. I mean, I think Bragg has them too. I think that actually caused a big hoopla about 2 weeks ago. If I'm not mistaken, shut the whole main gate down for a whole day, pretty much.
Because they got stuck in the up position.
Yeah.
Whoops. Some E4 did that. Can't get.
I really think they had a legitimate runner, and they deployed it, and it just, screwed the main gate up.
Campbell's got them too.
Yeah, they've pretty much every military installation that I've been on in the last.
I mean, we had the main gate. You go in the main gate. The only reason I'd go in the main gate is to hit that Burger King on the way back from the club. But then all the other times, it was like gate 5. You drive almost to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and I lived on that end of post. Anyway, this is a story from Task and Purpose. This is kind of a funny story, depressing. So this is courtesy of Task and Purpose. There are rough mornings, and then there are really rough mornings. Like when your car gets wrecked by a security barrier at the base gate, and you have to figure out how to cover $19,000 in damages. Airman was driving through the Vandenberg Gate in Little Rock Air Force Base. As soon as he made it through, another driver behind him attempted to run the gate, and the emergency barriers were deployed, totaling the first person's vehicle. 3 months later, the base legal office informed the airman the base would not cover the cost of repairing the car damage caused by the barrier. So this guy wasn't the barrier runner. He was just kind of caught in the middle of it. So the memo reads, it says, after careful review of the facts and applicable law, I must deny the claim due to the Air Force security forces not being the proximate cause of the damages caused to your vehicle. In this case, the civilian operating the other vehicle is the proximate cause for your damages due to their negligent driving. While I regret this inconvenience to you, there is no legal basis to approve your claim. The airman's story was posted to, of course, Facebook, where it received lots and lots of attention, most of which were sympathetic to the airman. The most popular was this one, and I thought it was pretty funny. The response says, meanwhile, maintenance just replaced a $19,000 map light on an aircraft designed in the 50s so a pilot with an art degree can read his Air Force iPad while autopilot does all the work getting to their 5-star hotel at Red Flag, paid for by your own tax dollars. So yeah, this guy has got a broke ass car, and he's got to chase down. And I kind of agree. with that determination.
My excuse to my command every day after that was, well, my car's totaled, I'm going to be late.
We got to figure he's probably calling back to a squadron going, oh, man. You're not going to.
Sorry, I'm late. You totaled my car and won't fix it.
Sarge, you're not going to believe this. So W. Scott Baxter says he saw W5 today. Did you take a picture? Picture, it didn't happen.
One of my good smoking buddies up at INSCOM headquarters was the CW5.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd sit and drink coffee, just shoot the shit for a couple hours every day.
I work with he's a nasty girl, but he's a W4, and I give him a hard time. And I said, hey, man, you know, the reason why you're not getting W5 is because you don't smell like fucking cigarette smoke and wear the same uniform for 4 days in a row.
Smell like whiskey in the
Smell
morning.
like whiskey in the morning. Oh, fuck, I forgot to shave. What are you going to do?
What you gonna do to me?
Yeah, he's a Blackhawk driver.
Like fun. You won't catch me dead in a helicopter anymore. I'm terrified of them things.
Not bad. I like them. I've only had one in-flight emergency, and that was during air assault school. We had a precautionary landing during air assault school.
I'm terrified of helicopters. I don't even like getting on airplanes anymore. I'm terrified of it.
You will if you had to, or is it like you know you're gonna drive?
No, you know, if like, you know, see the movies where like the zombies are like overflowing like the base and they're like the last flight's heading out, and I'd just be like, see y'all, I'll hold them off for you. You know,
Oh, so you're not going to be the guys like in Afghanistan, those guys hanging on to the outside of the C-141.
No, screw that. Especially if it's a military helicopter. No, bye.
It's amazing. We to see the way the military uses our product, and then they come back. You know, they're flying through the area, and they like land and you know, they make appointments and stuff. But they come and they let us tour their aircraft and see the way that it's actually used. You're like, fuck, man, this thing's dirty. I'm like horribly dirty.
Probably spewing hydraulic fluid somewhere, and there's
everywhere. They're cool with it though. They like our stuff, so they're appreciative.
They're your business partners, so you got to keep them happy.
They are. We accommodate them as much as we can. Broken in. There you go, Jim. It's seasoned. It's vintage. It's not even vintage. Well, now they are. I mean, I've been with the same company since 1996, so I guess you'd call them vintage. I'm just trying to read around for some breaking news. There's really nothing breaking. It's been kind of boring.
You know, if ICE would just call in right now and just say, "Hey, how y'all doing?" Hang it up, some crazy shit would happen. I guarantee.
Every time, every single time. So we got a new thing happening at the Tomb of the Unknown. Have you heard about this guy?
Yes, I saw that.
This is pretty damn cool. For the first time in nearly 100 years, so I think ICE was like an E4 promotable back then. Members of the public will be able to lay flowers directly in front of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington, Virginia. It's a rare opportunity to approach the tomb, the actual tomb, a privilege usually reserved for sentinels of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. The ceremony is part of the commemoration of the tomb's centennial. As the stewards of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, it is an honor to lead the centennial commemoration of this site, said Karen Durham Aguilera, Executive Director of the Army's National Military Cemeteries and Arlington National Cemetery, in a statement. The tomb has served as the heart of Arlington National Cemetery. It is a people's memorial that inspires reflection on service, valor, sacrifice, and mourning. As a sacred memorial site and the grave of 3 unknown American service members, the tomb connects visitors with the legacy of the U.S. Armed Forces throughout the nation's history. Arlington National Cemetery is holding a 2-day event on November 9th and 10th called the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier Centennial Commemoration Public Flower Ceremony. Anyone interested can pay respects to the unknown soldier. In addition to allowing the public to walk directly next to the tomb for the first time in decades, those paying their respects will also be able to lay flowers without having to go through the usual request processes to do so. Usually, a wreath-laying ceremonies are scheduled through a formal request process submitted by groups well in advance, and only 4 ceremonies can take place per day. The November event, which will allow those who register and pay their respects without the usual process limitations. The memorial will be open for the flower ceremony from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. During the event's 2-day run, and while visitors are encouraged to bring their own flowers, complimentary roses, Daisies and sunflowers will also be available. Another cool thing about this is a representative from the Crow Nation will open the ceremony on November 9th by reciting the same prayer given 100 years ago by American Indian Chief Plenty Coupe and placing flowers on the tomb. The event is free and is open to the public, but registration is required.
That makes me kind of nervous in a sense.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because you'll get that one idiot. I'm just saying, there's always that one idiot. But they decide, hey, I'm going to go lay a flower, and all of a sudden just throw paint all over the side of it just to prove a point. My other question is, what are them Sentinels going to do to that?
They're
Sorry,
gonna,
son of a bitch.
Pardon my language. They're gonna fuck him up. I've seen those Sentinels just, stop what they do, and address a disruptive person. And this,
I've seen them. I don't know if they actually carry ammo, but they lock and load on someone that's trying to walk up to the tomb. They go, click, please stop, or I will shoot you. Like I don't know if they carry ammo or not, but
I'm looking at that picture, and it's like a perfectly timed picture.
I had a school teacher that was, I guess his father was a Sentinel or whatever it was. He described everything. Like back in the day, there was really strict. It was like really strict. Like I don't know how it is now. Now I guess females are allowed to do it now.
Yes.
But it used to be like you had to be like 6 foot tall. You had to be like this, like the perfect height.
Mm-hmm.
You had to fit into all of this stuff, and it's like 21 steps. You got to count the seconds. This is like insane how like they put a booth up out for them for weather. Like adverse weather, and they'll just keep arching back and forth, pouring down rain on them. They don't give a crap.
I mean, imperfect. It's just it's, and I don't know. There's a certain amount of steps that they take, and it's just they got the. I'm going to say all the wrong things here. The clickety clacks in their shoes, and it's just so perfect. The entire ceremony is so perfect. I've watched hours worth of YouTube videos just watching the the changing of the guard.
I've been to a couple changes of the guard. I was literally like living there, so every now and then I'd go up to Arlington and just check it out. I always like walking Arlington for some weird reason.
That's
it's really beautiful. I mean, it's serene, but it's beautiful at the same sense. I don't know how to explain it.
That's probably it's of the things that are on my bucket list. That one I can definitely name for sure is visiting Arlington and then witnessing a changing of the guard.
Yeah, Arlington, like when you actually walk it, it'll blow your mind. Like people don't realize how massive it is. It's insane at that point.
Yeah, I've got no scope. I've got no point of reference.
I wish I still had the pictures from last time I was there. I took a picture of each tombstone is perfectly lined up, so they make a line go in any direction you look at them. And I snapped this picture. It just looks like these lines stretch into infinity at that point.
They go forever.
Like, yes, it's just nuts.
So I guess that's something that it's like we're it's going to SOF or something like that. It's just not something that you're like, hey, you want to be a part of a cool team. It's you gotta want that.
No. It's just.
I don't know. Do you have to be an 11 Bravo for that?
For what?
To be a Sentinel?
Or just. I think there's like a selection of some sort. No, I really don't think. I mean, they do come from the old guard, I think. Mm-hmm. There's I guess there's an infantry unit out in DC, wherever.
Third Infantry.
Yeah, those guys. I just know are notorious alcoholics. Not to say that, but they like to drink. I didn't mean to say it like that. They like to drink because I used to hang out with a couple of them. Sorry, I did not mean to say it like that. Jesus. Redacted statements. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one.
What he meant to say was,
well, when I say alcoholic, that doesn't mean what it means. Oh God. Oh God.
There's one for the record books.
I'm gonna go smack myself against the wall.
I don't know, man. If you read any of the documents from like doctors and stuff. How many drinks do you drink? Yes. How many drinks do you have? Probably 6 or 8 a week.
Yeah, you're an alcoholic.
Ooh, you're going to ADAPC. What?
You drink more than 3 drinks a week. You're
Or if you drink more than 1 in a single sitting, or more than 2 in a single sitting.
I'm already writing my formal apology for that one. That came out totally the wrong way. I did not mean it.
Alcoholics go to meetings, according to Jim.
Oof.
So Scott Rosa says what he meant to say was they train to handle themselves and operate at high levels of intoxication.
There you go. I did not mean it like that. I mean, a couple of more drinking buddies. That's all I got to say. You know, it's just
right, Baxter? I mean, no one ever tells the truth on those things. Even my doc, I talked to him at the VA. He's like, "Do you drink?" I'm like, "Well, I on Friday nights I'll have some beers." How many do you have? Usually about 8. What about the rest of the week? No, because I'm working. You know, if I got to go to work the next day, I'm not going to drink any alcohol.
Well,
I just
drink more than a 6-pack anymore. You're at risk at that point. You're binge drinking. You should have seen field artillery guys I used to hang out with.
Ooh. We had guys in Iraq that made hooch in their chews. That's like prison. What is that? Prison, whatever the hell it is.
Wine.
Yeah, prison wine.
Fruit and shit you get from the defect and sugar, and you just mash it up, let it ferment. Hope you don't get botulism from it.
Double and triple bag it so it doesn't leak all over the place.
Hope you don't get botulism.
Where's Johnson? Oh, he's puking in his damn chew again. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's probably just dehydrated.
No, I feel bad. I'm not gonna forget that now.
So Scott's like, what is it, like 3 or 4 in a sitting, and you have a problem? But realistically, it's more like if you can't stop yourself from drinking, then you have a problem.
Yeah, that's. I got you.
We're all trying to justify your statement.
I didn't mean it that way. It just rolled out that way.
So what about dope? What about the marijuanas? If Raph is still here, he'd probably chime in on this one.
What's that?
I've been reading lately about marijuana. Yes, Elizabeth Redleg is doing okay. Actually, I don't know about after tonight. They just had some really bad storms blow by his house, but I'm sure he's fine. But it was just a lot of shit talking about marijuana. You know, it's just like, oh, marijuana doesn't have any benefits. Well, it does have some benefits, but it's really a problem. You know, if you had and I'm just vamping this from memory, but it was like it needs to be prescribed by a doctor and managed by a doctor. You just don't go into a store and buy whatever you want just because you can.
But I could do that with alcohol.
Right? Argument done.
I can do that with Tylenol, and I think more people OD on Tylenol than I do with pot. So.
Or NyQuil. I'm just trying to NyQuil. Come on, Benadryl. Everything has benefits in moderation. Steroids have benefits too. Yeah, they sure do.
No, I'll take my conspiracy to like with the marijuana thing or the hemp industry. It was the hemp industry, and then big oil became a thing. And when they realized they could extract oil and make plastics with it, that's when it got shut down at that point. Because you can make concrete with hemp. You know, it's insane about the amount of stuff.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious. It's called hempcrete.
Hempcrete.
Yeah, you can go look it up. There's a huge story on that. What was it? Vice? I think I was watching.
Vice has got some pretty cool stuff. They got some really stupid stuff, but they got some really cool stuff too.
When they get into when they start talking about like the drugs and the war on drugs, I really like to listen to them because I kind of agree with a lot of the things they say. But then sometimes they'll come out and just be like, I don't even want to repeat it. Like this story. Why'd you write this? No one needs to know this shit.
Hempcrete or hemp lime is a biocomposite material, a mixture of hemp herds and lime sand and pozzolans, which is used as material for construction and insulation. The result is a lightweight insulating material, ideal for most climates, and as is combines insulation and thermal mass. Wow, how about that?
There you go. I mean, you could build an entire house out of hemp.
I was watching the 3D printing of structures, where they have like you have your small 3D printers. Well, this is like a much larger scale, like building walls and exterior structures.
I saw a bunch of that on TikTok the other day, where it was like live. It's like this machine. It looks like it's throwing down like a toothpaste line of, I guess concrete at that point, or quickcrete or whatever it is, and it's making its way around in circles and stuff like that. That's actually really cool for like future space exploration. I think Elon Musk was talking about that, like trying to figure a way to put these 3D printers on Mars and have them build the beginning of like a habitat at that point. Huh?
That would be kind of cool. And leave like a couple E4s and an NCO behind just to maintain.
Or you have robots do the whole thing.
Weed's probably okay, but nowadays it's 100% or 100 times stronger and dangerous in heavy use. I don't do it. I don't like it. So
it just depends. I mean, people don't realize. I don't like it either. I won't smoke it. I'll eat an edible, and I know exactly what's in the edible, and I know it's from a good source. So I know the exact amount of THC that's in there, and the exact amount of CBD. And I prefer a higher CBD to THC ratio. I like to get the buzz, but also kind of just like to chill at that point. I don't want to be like staring in a mirror thinking my eyeballs are like popping out, stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Did you see that shit I put in our ops? It wasn't our ops chat. It was our station's chit chat. I need to find this. Oh my God. Team room. Here we go. That's the Hong Kong one. That was funny too. Oh, I got to read it. It says, "Bitch, I'm so high in Trader Joe's, I forgot the word strawberry, so I just said, that red bitch with the freckles."
Spanky just said someone literally ran into the class 6.
Oh, she got pictures too. Oh my God. Oh.
I gotta look at this. Hold on. How do you run into it on that side of it though?
Oh my gosh.
I know exactly that class 6 too.
Let me see if I can do this. Preview. I don't know if I can do this.
That's like the clean sign, right? I cannot wrap my brain around
people run into stuff in there all the time. That's the new clean sign is the class 6.
So welcome to clean sign, and I've always looked at like how the hell do they do it? Like I've always sat there and tried to figure. I know how the road setup is. I'm just trying to figure to myself. It's like how do you run into that shit?
So this, I can do this. Watch this. That one? Yeah. Look at that.
That'd be breaking news from the Spanky news station.
Big old crunched up front end there. Thank you, Spanky news station. Clean has a problem.
Oh yeah.
Now they're probably going to request budget money to put these barriers up. Those little concrete pilings.
Oh yeah, they'll spend $400,000 putting them up, but they can't fix a dude's car.
Right. Elizabeth, thank you. She says I'm crying laughing about that strawberry comment. Anyway, the reason I was getting to the dope question was because of the story. It comes out of Florida. Of course, it comes out of Florida. All the cool stories or all the shocking stories are definitely coming from Florida. But this one is pretty funny. There used to be I don't know if this guy's still a sheriff, Grady Judd. But there's another sheriff
county?
in town in Brevard County.
I don't know where that's at.
The story is a Florida sheriff has advertised on social media some 700 pounds of marijuana that authorities wanted to, quote, return to its rightful owner. The tongue-in-cheek post on Facebook by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office argued the office was just trying to do the right thing. Since at the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, we always strive to do the right thing, our narcotics agents are trying to identify the rightful owner of the approximately 770 pounds of marijuana that was seized from a mini storage facility in Vieira. I mean, trying to identify the rightful owner of the property is the very least we can do, especially since it has a street value of roughly $2 million. The sheriff has made extensive use of social media during his tenure as the, quote, most politically incorrect sheriff of the country. That's a great title to have.
Oh, I thought it was Marion County. He's the crazy one. Like, he'll get up on. I mean, even before like a case is done, he'll be like dropping like camera footage of like arrests and shit.
Oh.
He'll be up on there with his pistol. He got a 6-shooter and a cowboy hat on there, going like, "You mess around in my county, I'll put a hole in your head."
Well, I think that's Grady Judd. I think that's Grady Judd. He's like, if you let's say you break the law and you know that we're coming for you, we'd appreciate if you would come and turn yourself in. And if we come to apprehend you, if you start shooting at us, we're going to start shooting at you a lot.
I think they're like two different sheriffs, but they're like two peas in the same pod.
Exactly.
Kind of the way they act.
That's yeah. I think the nation needs more of that. That's
I know the Marion County sheriff down there in Florida made big headlines right around this coronavirus thing. He was like, "My police will not wear masks. They will not wear masks." You know, and through, you know, oh God, they're not wearing masks. Go into the world. You know, like it made national news, and then they got quiet after that. You know.
Well, I don't say don't make them wear them. Don't make them not wear them.
Well, but look at this. Like to me, you showed the picture, and this is the libertarian side of me coming out. Like, I'm just picturing 1700 time frame. They had social media, and the pirates got a hold of a whole shipload of like the East Indian trading companies rum and said, "Hey, we confiscated this. It's worth this much. Come claim it." You know, yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's just like insult to injury at that point. And I think marijuana is actually legal, or medicinal is in Florida. So
I'd say test it and then turn it over to some place where it's legal. I don't know.
No, they'll get their money out of it. And they'll auction it off to someone, or I don't know.
I don't know. Or they'll incinerate it. I have no idea.
A couple of those baggies are going to wind up missing and on the street again.
Well, you know what I'm thinking when I read this? 770 is pretty exact. Why didn't he say 800 pounds? Because someone took 30 of it.
That's like the meme I saw floating around a couple of years ago. It looked like there was like a Colombian police officer, and they're like, "We found a 1,000 kilos of cocaine," and then like his shirt got a little bit bigger on one side. He's like, no, you only found 99 kilos. And then his shirt got a little bit bigger. It's like, no, wait, just make it 800 even. We're good at this point.
Right. So Sheriff Ivey always encourages the fugitives to turn themselves in. He similarly has encouraged the owner of the 770 pounds of marijuana to reach out to the narcotics agents at the sheriff's office. That's awfully nice of him to afford folks the opportunity to come and claim their lost items.
I just feel bad for the man who lost this, and is it with the cartel? Yeah, you might want to go turn yourself in at that point.
It's like where did it come from, and if it was sourced somewhere other, you know, like if it took a cartel to bring it over across the border or whatever. You know what's kind of funny? You know what's kind of funny is we're having. What did President Biden call it? He called it not infrastructure. What the reason why supermarkets and whatever stores aren't getting?
Oh, you got to stack spaghetti and this woman in the grocery store.
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
Not that one. Just that he called it something like a supply chain difficulties or something like that.
What's funny is that the Secretary of the Transportation has been on paternity leave.
Buttigieg?
Yes, been on paternity leave for the last month now, I think.
Yeah, him and his husband they adopted a baby. Cute kid.
I mean, I have no problem with that, but just you're in the middle of a shipping crisis. You might be like, yo, I might need to do my job for a little bit.
Let me do a Zoom call for like 20 minutes. I'll be right back.
Exactly.
I'll help you breastfeed or whatever happens.
I just find it the hilarious part about this is I find it most hilarious is that the news wasn't even trying to talk about this shit, and people all over TikTok have been talking about it. Private news reporter. That's why I like TikTok, because you got some actual semi-journalists on there that look the information up, and they've been talking about it for months now. And as soon as what's his name, Florida Governor DeSantis, and the Port Authority down there said, "Hey, our ports are open, bring it here," and all of a sudden now it's a big thing.
Well, I saw a map. It was a map that had all the previous maps I saw were maps of the Pacific coast mostly, with the biggest backup. But I saw another. It was like a drawn out map where you saw the entire lower 48 in Central America. But the Gulf was full of boats. Of course, the entire Pacific coast was full of ships.
If you want to look at a live action view of it right now, there's a website. It's called marinetraffic.com, and you can click on pretty much any ship in the entire world and pull up information on it. Huh?
Marine traffic dot.
And how do I set this? There's a way to set the layers to where you can say if it's moving or not, or if it's stationary. And when you look at some of them, they're just been sitting there. They're big piles of them stacked up.
Okay, so here, for your enjoyment in the audience here, we're just not going to talk about this. I'm going to show you.
The best way is just take it to Long Beach, and every single one of those green dots you see is a ship that's just sitting there and just been waiting there. If it's got an arrow on it, that means it's actively moving, like it's moving in a direction. But if it's just a circle, it's stationary, and you can click on it. It'll tell you how long it's been. Let's see, arrived, date. This one's been sitting there since August. September. That one's been sitting there since September.
I mean, the thing is, they've got them. It's all in the coast. It's all in the Gulf.
Mm-hmm.
It's all down the St. Lawrence Seaway into the Great Lakes region, all the way up and down the Mississippi River, and then you go over to like Seattle Tacoma area. It's all up there. Just sitting.
I mean, they've got big. I mean, it's big shipping lines, but pretty much anything that's like a circle is the way I was explained to. You see, like you can see some of them sitting in like a weird formation.
Mm-hmm.
That's them just sitting waiting for the Port Authority to be like, all right, it's time, your turn to come in at that point. Huh?
There was a guy that did it might have been a TikTok, but he was at the port of Tacoma, and he said that the entire parking lot was full of trucks waiting for their load. And then in the distance, there was all the cranes that do the unloading of the ships. He says, I've been here for hours, and those cranes haven't moved at all.
I know a lot of conspiracy theorists believe this is all manufactured, but I mean, I had one person tell me that this is the echo ripple effect of that whole Suez Canal incident. What that happened, last year sometime?
That was one ship. That was one ship. One ship got stuck in it, and it blocked up the Suez Canal for, 2 weeks? Was it 2 weeks or 10 days or something like that?
I can't remember, but someone was trying to explain it to me. It's like that one little drop in the water created this massive ripple effect at that point.
Huh.
I don't know what to believe. I mean, some people believe it's manufactured, which I don't believe.
That seems a little excessive because this is just the United States. And I'm going to scroll over here. Look at Europe and Northern Africa. Whoops. Dude, look at that. Scroll out a little bit more. This is the Gulf. I mean, that's I don't know what it normally looks like.
Persian Gulf is like the most probably one of the most active places in the United States, not the United States, in the world at the point next to like the Hong Kong, Taiwan area. If you scroll over to Hong Kong, Taiwan area or whatever, there's a Singapore or whatever, that little Sea of China or whatever it is. It's insanity.
Holy moly! Vietnam, that whole. Oh my gosh! Look at all
Philippines.
This is global. This isn't just the United States. Look at all of that.
No, yeah, well, that's just. I mean, I was trying to explain it to my mom. I was showing her. I pulled it up. Like, this is what. I mean, you can pull up. What's it? FFA traffic over the United States. It's insane. You would never believe there's that many airplanes. That's how many shipping containers are coming around the world. That's the global supply chain at that point. They're looking at it right there.
And my computer is somewhere on one of those green or red
One of those.
Actually, no. I think it's my graphics card is on one of those ships.
I think green is going to, and then I think they're loaded, and they're going to drop off, and I think red is empty and return to port.
Okay.
I don't know how that works though.
What's blue? Can you? What is blue?
I mean, there's probably a key on there somewhere. Someone tried to explain it to me. This is a buddy of mine, so I mean, he's a little conspiracy theorist. So trying to explain it to me, and I was like, oh well, this makes no sense to me. I see this. There's keys. He says pretty much anything that's a circle is sitting still at that point. All right, cool, gotcha.
All right, the blue one that I just clicked on is a research survey vessel.
Okay. It's going from Oakland to San Francisco at that point. Huh?
But here's a blue one. Looks like it's flying a Chinese flag. Underway. Cargo. It's a container.
That's a Hong Kong flag. That ain't a Chinese flag.
That's just, it's interesting to me, man. It's just, it's going from the U.S. to China.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Los Angeles to China.
It's just crazy. You would never figure that there's that many boats floating around the ocean. I mean, maybe that's the reason why the sea levels are rising.
So we got. It just looks a lot more menacing when you scroll out like this.
I mean, it's the same way. Like I said, if you pull up, I think there's a couple FAA, Federal Aviation, or whatever, however.
FlightAware.com. I use that.
Yeah,
a lot.
you pull it up, you can sit there and just watch the planes moving across, and it's crazy how many planes are flying across the United States at a good time.
See, Scott Baxter says, I work at a truck stop, and truckers tell me that various companies are greasing palms at the distribution center to get their loads out first.
That's capitalism at that point. If
Right?
I want to pay more for my shit to get off the boat faster, allow it at that point.
It's just nuts. I'm definitely going to bookmark this dude. Marinetraffic.com.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the major ports, you just zoom into them, there's just dots, like polka dots all over the place, and those are the shipping containers that have been just sitting there waiting.
Oh, like they're not underway; they're just kind of hanging out.
They're just chilling at this point. And usually, if you're a shipping boat, you want to be at constant movement. The more you're at, as money lost at that point, huh?
Voyage planner, weather routing, weather. This is a cool website, man. You get all kinds of metrics on here.
Yeah, we got to pay. Well, a lot of those guys, a lot of like boat people. I say boat people, captains and whatever. They use this website because it brings up GPS, unless of course it's near the North Korean peninsula. Mm-hmm. I've seen a couple boats chilling out there, and when you go to click on it, it says this information is not available. So I don't know how they do that, but
let's look in North Korea. Dun, dun, dun.
It's crazy though. You look at North Korea; it's like kind of like the dead spot. It's just like barely anything in the waters at that point. Huh?
Tanker. This vessel is out of coastal AIS range. Access vessel and voyage details via satellite.
Yeah.
All right. What about this guy? Position received. This vessel is out of coastal AIS range. Okay, whatever. Hey Russell, I got my Yingling in the refrigerator. The thing is, I can't taste anything, so I'm not going to drink good tasting beer.
I just find it funny how far off the coast those cargo vessels stay away from the North Korea.
Or what about like the Horn of, not the Horn of Africa, but like
Over in Ethiopia.
Somalia? There's very few vessels sailing next to Somalia.
Oh, they stay in a tight supply chain going through there. Pirates
in little itty bitty boats. Itty bitty shitty boats. Man, the Suez Canal was just packed. I could spend hours on here. I'm not going to do this. I just
really give you a little bit of information that you're going to be on there all night, just like, oh, this is fun.
Right, and I'm going to be clicking on. Hey, here's Kaz's graphics card, and I can actually. It's been a month. I've waited a month. I ordered my computer about a month ago, and it's in the queue. Is the last email that I got. So I used to build computers. We used to build our own servers and stuff at work until we decided to. We did like a make versus buy analysis, and it's like they just let other people do it. Buying all the stuff and then paying somebody a bunch of money per hour to just build a computer is not cost effective. Yeah, it's much like FlightAware, but just it's boat-aware, ship-aware. So go ahead.
No, that's the first time I saw that was on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And my buddy was like trying to explain it to me. He's like, "Yeah, this is how it works." I was like, "Okay, well, it's just information for me to pull up."
I like learning new stuff, or not necessarily learning new stuff, just understanding new things. Like drywall. I have watched countless hours of how to do drywall. So you'd think I'd be a professional at it, but I'm not. I suck at it. I replaced a 2x2 sheet of drywall, and I'm following the instructions from this yuck from Canada, and so far it's working out pretty okay. So we'll see. I'm putting the second coat of mud on probably tomorrow. I've never done it this way before. It's you make it, you make your slurry a little light, and then you do a little, you fill in the hole. This is before you put the tape on. You fill in the hole, the gap, which he said should be like no more than a quarter inch, and then you put the tape down, and then you smooth the tape out over the mud, and then you let that dry for 24 hours, and then you mud over that. I've never done it before. I've always seen people just put up drywall, they put up their tape, they mud over that, and then they're done.
Yep.
So he's in between each step. So you have your little 3-inch or your 6-inch mud, and then you do like a wider swath, and then you feather it out and wipe it down with the wet sponge. Hopefully, if you do a good enough job, you can do it with a sponge. Otherwise, you have to sand.
Oh, that's the best job. The sponge.
I'm hoping I can just be sponge and done. It does blow. Get a guy. It's just it's a 2x2, 2 foot by 2 foot. The previous owner decided to cover up an attic access hole. So they put a 2x2 piece up there that was half an inch thick, and it should have been 5/8 thick. And they tried to make up that difference with a shitload of mud.
So why would you do that?
Because there's attic access in the garage. There's stairs that come down.
I guess that makes sense.
And it's in a bedroom.
Yeah, but that's like the cool, we go insulate you a little area, and you have your nice insulated storage area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the bedroom has an extra storage area over top of it. I mean, that's the way my brain works with shit like that. But drywall doesn't bother me. I just won't do it anymore.
my mom suggested that just make an attic access out of it.
That'd be the best way to do it. Or like I said, frame off a section above the bedroom and insulate it.
And I can easily do that. But not anymore because that it's all 1/3 of the way done.
Oh.
So guess who went to space? Oh, dude, it's like 8:00.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Talked about We talked about
shipping containers. This is bullshit. Okay, fuck this. We're gonna do this. The Captain Kirk. We're talking about Captain Kirk because Captain Kirk went to space, like actually space. Put up paneling. I was thinking about doing shiplap in that room. Put some cedar shiplap up on the ceiling, but I decided against that. So here we go. Hollywood's Captain Kirk, 90-year-old William Shatner, 90 years old, blasted off into space on Wednesday in a convergence of science fiction and science reality, reaching the final frontier aboard a ship built by Jeff Bezos. I don't think Bezos turned a wrench on that whole damn thing. I think he owns the company. The Star Trek actor and 3 fellow passengers hurtled to an altitude of 66.5 miles over the West Texas desert in a fully automated capsule, then safely parachuted back to Earth. The flight lasted just over 10 minutes. He said, "What you have given me is the most profound experience," the exhilarated Shatner told Bezos after climbing out of the hatch, the words spilling from him like a soliloquy almost as long as the flight. "I hope I never recover from this. I hope I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it." He said that going from the blue sky to the utter blackness of space was a moving experience. In an instant, you go, "Whoa, that's death. That's what I saw," end quote. Shatner became the oldest person in space, eclipsing the previous record set by a passenger on a similar jaunt on a Bezos spaceship back in July by 8 years. The flight included about 3 minutes of weightlessness and a view of the curvature of the Earth. So that kind of looks like is that real?
Satin.
The picture you can't.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I see it now. No, that's not real. But I saw that earlier today, and it kind of had me giggle a little bit.
I'm surprised he didn't Shatner himself. That's funny.
Did you see the video of him up there that they posted?
I did not. I did not watch the video. If you've got 3, were they unstrapped doing weightlessness stuff?
Yeah, he was like sitting there, and he was so. Everyone's doing weightless stuff, and he's like, "This weightlessness is like unbelievable." And then he glues himself to the port window, and he's like, "Oh my god." And you could hear like the tears like forming in his voice and stuff like that. He's like, "This is that's all he could say." He was like dumbfounded at that point. Huh?
So whatever. I mean, it was like that experience with Dan was damn near worth it. He sucked it up, or he didn't suck it up. He sucked it all in. He just absorbed the entire experience.
He was glued to that. I mean, if he could have stuck his head in the vacuum of space, he probably have done it. No?
So there's one for the flat earthers. And that for your BLC instructor who is a believer in the flat earth, take it from William Shatner. He says, "The earth is not flat. I checked." No kidding, Vinny. He says, "I guarantee a little poop came out on that takeoff." That's cool, man. There was a lot of blowback. I mean, was it Prince Andrew or something was talking shit? Like, space tourism, blah, this doesn't do anybody any good.
Bullshit.
Save the planet.
You save the planet. Well, that's going to want to burn it up in 10 billion years anyway. So, I mean.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter how many taxes you collect. The Earth's still going to. It still has an end date on it. We just don't know what it is.
It's got an expiration date.
Yep.
We've got to save it for our grandchildren. I ain't got no grandchildren, so I don't give a crap.
God. All right. We are at the halfway point of the show. Got a lot of stories. Apparently, we didn't get through all of my first half stories, so we've got a lot coming up. It's going to be awesome. So hang out with us. Please go grab another beverage from your refrigerator or whatever, and we'll be right back just after this.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
I'll be back.
I'm down, down, down to nothing. Feeling alone. I'm lost, lost, lost without you. Since you've been
WTF Nation Radio.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, yeah. I like this intro song. It's groovy. All right, we're back for the second hour of Friday Night Freedom. My name is Kaz, and right up there with the squeaky head is Pookie. What's up, man?
Yep.
Oh, we're doing all good, man. This is good. We're having a good night, man. That first hour went by fast. I mean, I like it when time flies when you're having fun, but everyone's got to get up and shake the blood clots out and go to the restroom and maybe grab another beverage from the refrigerator. And here we are. Yeah, Russell Jenkins. That's good. Good fucking jams. That second song, the first song was a band called Roses Unread, friend of the station. And the name of that song is The Ugly Truth. The second one is former guest Derek Jones, Last of a Dying Breed. I have no idea why he's not just booked up. I mean, he's playing, he's gigging in Nashville, but man, he's got such a great voice. And if you after the show, just check out Derek Jones. He does so much cool stuff, and he loves America, loves the troop. He's a Navy veteran. He was a boatswain's mate. So I guess what does that mean? Mechanic, I guess. I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Navy. 246 years old.
The best Uber service in the face of mankind.
It's funny because I work with a lot of retired Marines, and there's one. He's our engineer 4. He's a project engineer. So if we need something, he can get it for us. He's like the supply clerk. He's like our supply clerk. So if we need something, we just tell him, and he goes and gets it. But he's ex-Navy. So all the Marines were sending him pictures like, happy birthday to my, like you said, my favorite Uber driver. But he didn't care. He's just like, oh yeah, it's the Navy's birthday. He's been out for a while. He's been out since probably the early 90s. So
I send my cousin a picture every year. He was a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cake. Looks like a Crayola box cut, and it looks like crayons on the inside. It's like happy birthday.
That's awesome. It's just weird because we have more Marines on staff than anything else. The company, the company that I work for has usually been heavy with Marines and Navy. And just recently, like within the last 10 years, they're bringing in like, Army folks, and we have ex-Coasties and stuff like that. Coasties are probably, of all of them, the most qualified to do their job. Coasties are awesome. Don't ever give Coasties a hard time. I mean, it's nice to give Coasties a hard time, but damn, dude, a good majority of them have master's degrees as enlisted people.
Oh, you're full time.
They're doing it because they want to and they love it. Anyway,
it's a hard job to get as a full time Coast Guard.
It is. It absolutely is. So I'm going to blast through this real quick. I don't have a graphic, but a geomagnetic storm triggered a flare of solar energy, and it hit Earth on Monday, and that solar storm lasted through like Wednesday early into yesterday. But they were saying that the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, was seen like as far south as like Montana and Wisconsin. It was a big ass blast. It was seen as far south as New York, Wisconsin, and Washington states. That's pretty awesome. The effects are expected to continue Tuesday into Wednesday. This space weather caused by the sun is important to understand because, in addition to power grid ramifications, it can also affect GPS, airlines, rockets, and astronauts working in space, including those flying on a rocket 66 miles above the Earth's surface. So we talked about Bezos. And this is kind of funny. Bezos, rich dude, very rich dude. Elon Musk, an additionally super rich dude. What were you going to say?
It's that song. I don't know if you heard it. You can do it, Jeffrey Pay.
So here we go. There's Elon Musk. His personal wealth is now $222 billion, widening his gap as the richest person in the world, according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. Musk's personal wealth, and we talked about this last week, his wealth skyrocketed an extra $10.6 billion after a secondary share by investors happened last week. It valued SpaceX at over $100 billion.
I know that.
Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, follows Musk with a net worth of $191.6 billion. Musk tweeted a second place medal to Bezos, which is just funny as hell because Bezos tweeted just some kind of inspiring, just a small inspiring tweet that got like very little reaction. And then Elon Musk replied with a second place medal and got 109.7 likes on it. 109.7 thousand likes, I'm sorry. Well, Vinny, I'm not saying that you should be wearing your tinfoil hat this week because it's already happened, so we've all been blasted. Ooh, Musa Al-Zawani says you have to have good relationships with the supply sergeant. Yes, you do. It's always good to make friends with the armorer, make friends with everybody in supply.
Pretty much anyone in a lock, pretty much. Anyone involved with a lock.
Anybody that has to, at some point, do something for you.
Yes.
It's always good if they have a good attitude toward you. So, yeah.
S3 be talking shit on S1, but then when there's S3 guys come in and be like, hey, my BH is messed up, like, oh, I'll get around to it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we're going to take care of that right now. And then the next thing you hear is like... So, here we go. We're going to talk about the budget. I mentioned it last week. 3.5, I was going to say billion. Trillion. That's with a T, a big old capital T.
It's like what, 3,000 billion?
3 million billion.
3 million billion. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just to try to put it into, the small man's brain at that point. Huh?
So there's so much, and what I wanted to do myself is go through it, and there's, it's several hundred pages long, but it's kind of memoed down like this line item is for this is for that, this is for that. Kind of go through that and pick out some really egregious things. Well, guess what? Someone already did it for me, and they're not even on the payroll. The Republican Study Committee analyzed all of the line items on that budget. Now you're going to say, well, this is Republican, so it's going to be skewed. That's not correct because whatever's there is what's there. These are facts. These are the things that are on the list. So you can't skew it. There's no way to apply a personal bias towards it. There is a little bit of personal bias is the way that they explained some of the items, but the stuff it's still there. It's still there. So this is item number 9. So some of the things that we have on this list: $8 billion to create a cabal of federally funded climate police called the Civilian Climate Corps. Okay, so there the word that they used, cabal, is leading. So that's an opinionated. That's an adjective that is they didn't need to say that. So that's like the only bias that you're going to find in this is when they call things names. So let's just say a group of federally funded climate police called the Civilian Climate Corps, who will conduct progressive activism on the taxpayer's dime. It includes new incentives for illegal immigration in the form of eligibility for illegal immigrants to take advantage of the Democrats' new free college entitlement, as well as be eligible for additional student aid and enhanced child tax credits. Another item, $643 million for, among other things, procuring culturally appropriate foods for school lunches. I don't know. I ate in the cafeteria when I was growing up, going through school. And the lunch lady was always slinging pizza.
Pizza was the shit.
Pizza
I
was
don't care what it
awesome.
was.
I
used to
liked
get the cheesesteak too.
cheesesteak was
cheesesteak.
really good.
Yeah.
The meatloaf. I was a big fan of the meatloaf.
The meatloaf was good.
The meatloaf
I
was
mean,
really good.
What we ate as kids in the cafeteria, what the kids eat now in the cafeteria is like day and night. But we ate like king. They get fed like prisoners at that point. I don't know if you've seen some of them. I don't want to get into that. That's a different subject we can get into. I'll let you go on that.
Baxter comes back really with a really good point. Says the bias comes in where the Republicans won't highlight the stuff that they like that shouldn't be there. That's a really good point. Okay.
I just don't like any of it.
I don't like these things that I'm reading off, obviously, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more in there that I don't like.
Every bit of this is infrastructure, FYI.
This is all infrastructure.
All infrastructure.
So that $8 billion that I mentioned in the beginning is part of the Green New Deal that was rejected. So the Green New Deal was rejected as a whole, but components of that Green New Deal are in this budget. So that was item number 1. That was Green New Deal. I'm sure there's more. Item number 2, that's also Green New Deal. $5 billion for environmental and climate justice block grants, and another $100 billion in green energy special interest subsidies, loans, and other carve-outs.
Are they just making things up now?
Well, you just call that. You just go block. It's a block grant for XYZ.
I know, but it sounds like they're just making things up to just snatch some cash up and do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Like, like $80 light bulbs in Iraq.
Yeah, it's like a slush fund for.
Yeah, exactly at that point. Huh?
Here is one that I found particularly interesting. $200 million is earmarked for the Presidio Trust. I'm like, what the hell is the Presidio Trust? Well, I found out that the Presidio Trust is in Nancy Pelosi's congressional district. so
The Crypt Keeper.
Right? The drunken Crypt Keeper. She's like the Crypt Keeper, but like drinking gin. So I read into what the Presidio Trust is because I like to educate myself. What is the Presidio Trust? The Presidio of San Francisco is managed by 2 federal agencies in partnership. 300 acres along the coast are managed by the National Park Service, while the rest of the Presidio, 1,191 acres, is managed by the Presidio Trust. Both agencies work in close collaboration with the Golden Gate National Parks Conservatory, a nonprofit organization that provides indispensable philanthropic and programmatic support. The Presidio Trust is an unusual federal agency, and these are their words. In our founding bipartisan legislation, Presidio Trust Act, the trust was charged with operating the park, and this is the important part, without taxpayer support. Yet they're getting $200 million. They want $200 million out of this. Funds are earned through leasing homes and workspaces and operating hotels. A golf course and venues are also used for park management and upkeep. So in their own mission statement, they're like, we operate without input from the taxpayer. But here they have a line item in the $3.5 trillion budget proposal. It's not law yet. That can got kicked down the road. And the debt ceiling was voted on to be raised. So there's no crisis yet. It's been a crisis for a damn long time, but it's not. The hammer isn't coming down until what is it? December.
Pelosi reminds me like all them little like trust funds and land and nonprofits and crap. It's not. I don't know if you've. I know this is gonna be a little off subject from what you're talking about, but I don't know if you've heard of the Alex Murdo in South Carolina. I don't know if you've heard about that.
No, I have not.
He's this like big time old school lawyer family, and his wife got killed after she started looking into the finances. And It's
that's that person.
That'd be a story for like next week. Like I'll give you the information on it, but yeah, it's like land here, nonprofit here, this, that. Oh, the taxpayers are given, it sounds the same thing to me at this point. Huh?
So moving on down this little list that I have, $4 billion in an equity budget, and I say that in quotes, that would help left-wing grassroots organizations that, among other things, want to tear down and rebuild or otherwise alter infrastructure deemed as being racist.
See that?
So, like Confederate monuments?
Well, that too, but I could just deem anything as racist as okay. This is where I don't like. This is when I hate when, like, this partisan shit.
Yeah.
I really hate it. Is because they're writing a partisan bill in there that gives them X amount of money to be like, okay, this group has the ability to deem whatever they feel as racism, because racism is a thing. It is a thing. Don't get me wrong with it, but it is more of like I could claim anything these days as, oh look, that's racist.
Well, it's like racist roads and bridges. What? How is a road racist?
It's a fucking clown world. That's all the best way I can tell you.
Clown world. That's where we live.
I can get into it to the point where it's that right there is what you call a partisan tool, where they could be like at any given time they're like, well, we're gonna stop this project, we're gonna rip it down because my political, my other side political is trying to build this, but I'm gonna deem it as racist. I'm gonna end it.
Or I need something. Because the people or the industries in my district need something. So unless I'm included in this, then I'm going to vote no. So they throw a few $1 million for some little pet project.
Like Tom Rice switched parties here. A lot of people were mad about it. He didn't switch parties. He just kind of did the rhino thing and like flip flopped here in South Carolina, where he's like, I'm in support of Trump and but as soon as he had the opportunity to get his, I guess they're trying to do another interstate coming through South Carolina, 73 or something like that. He flipped the case real quick.
That he's directly connected to.
Yeah, he's got all kind of he owns most of the land. It's through LLCs and the land holdings, like Pelosi at that point. So it's just, I can't do it anymore. You can get me.
So here's more, and we talked about it. I touched on this a little bit last week. I didn't think it was actually in the bill. I knew that the IRS secretary wanted it there, and he had a lot of support. But $80 billion slush fund to hire 87,000 IRS agent army. And my notes here says probably counting on them to be allowed to snoop on checking accounts.
Yeah, because that $600 that like my grandma sent me a year ago is really taxing the rich at that point.
Oh, you're getting money without paying taxes on it, and since it's 8:30 right now, in 29 minutes, toward the end of the show, this article is I'm gonna post it to my my Facebook. And you can reach that at what is my Facebook? I have no idea what my Facebook is. Cause-WTF Nation Radio. So if you put in like Cause-WTF, it'll probably show up. So it's Cause-WTF Nation Radio. I've got the PDF file, or a link to the PDF file is going to appear, and it's got everything. It's got 42 or 43 items that were deemed as egregious spending. Out of all of them, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages.
The freaking page, how many pages they stacked on? One senator was like, if you take every page in this bill, as much as keep bumping my mic, as much as being spent right now, and I don't know how many pages are in it, but he said on the average it's about $2 billion a page is what this bill is going to cost the American taxpayers. That's insanity at this point. Huh?
And the thing is, a budget is a proposal, but then you've got this brain dead fucker who took the oath of office to be president, and he's just like, okay, if you guys agree on it, then whatever.
Let's go, Brandon. Click, 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 click.
Oh my gosh, all the "Let's go, Brandon" stuff. You see that guy in the airport? He put He went to one of the agents at the desk saying, "Hey, I need to find my friend. His name is Lesko Brandon. He needs to be here because our flight's going to leave." So they paged Lesko Brandon. And he had set his phone up, and he was recording the entire thing. It was pretty damn funny. So another couple of items here before we move on to the next story. It continues welfare benefits without work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents at a time where there are 10.1 million job openings, more openings than there are people looking for work.
Just gonna remain silent on that.
Do I need to pull up that shipping map again?
No. It's like listen, you can't see the forest before the trees kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's going on right now. Is like people are not seeing the big event that's coming, and
I'm not saying buy all the toilet paper. I'm saying buy some damn toilet paper.
buy a bidet and dig a well on your property.
You know what's funny? I've been seeing a lot of bidet things on Facebook. I've never searched for a bidet. I've never wondered what a bidet was. I've never tried to look at the engineering behind what a bidet does. I know what it does, but or whatever. But I've been seeing a lot of pop-up advertisements. Like you're scrolling through your timeline, and you get advertisements. And I saw a bunch of bidet stuff. How many of those jobs are $8 an hour shit jobs that don't pay your bills?
They don't pay your bills because everything's inflated because they keep printing money.
Now I'm getting clearly Facebook knows you need a bidet.
A bidet, yes.
Never used one. I've never used one. I've never ever used one. They might be awesome. And there were like videos of like a water washing the chocolate off of the top of a donut. Yeah. That was the advertisement. Oh, it cleans and this, that, and the other. And so what do you do afterwards?
Have you ever used a bidet before?
I have never.
It is the most liberating experience of your life.
Okay.
I didn't use one. I got stationed in Bahrain, and near the end of our deployment, I guess the Prince put us up because they needed room and stuck us up in some of these really nice homes. I don't know why the houses were so big, but it's enough to fit like 12, like almost a whole platoon in it. And each 4 guys had their own bedroom, and each one had a toilet and a bidet. And I remember my platoon sergeant sitting there like, "What the hell is this thing? It's shooting water up in there." I was like, "You sit on it."
I mean, is it warm? Is it always warm, or do you get that?
It's warm. It comes out and it cleans, and then afterwards.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. When it comes out, is it warm like immediately, or does it start like there's a little spritz of cold and then it gets warm?
Well, I mean, in the States, it'd probably be a little cold at first. I mean, even cold water is better than, I don't know. The toilet paper thing's kind of outdated at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even trying to figure out like why like anywhere I went in the Middle East, you go to a restaurant or something, you go to use the bathroom, you sit down, you look at the bathroom, and they have this weird, like remember them kitchen hoses you pull out and to help spray your dishes or whatever it was.
Yes.
I could wrap my brain around it, and my buddy was like, "You use that, and then they have toilet paper on the side to dry, and then that's it."
Okay. I'm really trying to wrap my brain about this. Around it, rather. It's cleaner because you don't get that. You don't get that random breakthrough. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But no. Was it Stan Leaf said it's the same concept as a shower.
Okay.
I mean, no different.
I heard when I was in the Army, there was an argument among, like, it was the squad leader and one of the other technicians in my squad. And it came down to personal insults, and the PFC said, "Well, the last time you got a piece of ass is when your finger poked through the toilet paper." And I thought that was funny, and now we're talking about bidets and whatnot. I mean, oh my gosh, we're talking about wiping our butts and stuff. I mean, everybody does it. Everybody poops. There's books.
Hey.
There's books.
Unless you're what's his name, the supreme leader of North Korea, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
Oh no, he doesn't have a butthole.
And he created hamburgers, but that's a different story at that point.
And he's seen unicorns. He has like 3 unicorns. Or
unicorn.
There's so much cool stuff written about him.
His grandfather, his father, and him have both shot at a target and hit it in the exact same spot so perfectly dead on that you can't even tell.
Yep. So we're going to go from bidets, and we're going to talk about another. How many more of these? I think there's just one. 2 more items. Another one. Amnesty for 8 million illegal aliens and a budget of $100 billion to support it, which will largely be spent on welfare and other entitlements.
Oh, that pisses me off to no extent. Because we got such a massive homeless population that I don't see any. I need to look at the bill to see what they're going to throw at actual U.S. citizens that are sitting there without homes, sitting on the side of streets, hooked on drugs or some crap like that.
Right. Veterans.
Austin,
some of them are veterans too.
Yes, drug addicts, veterans, whatever. I mean, those people need help. Those are our people. You take care of your own before you take care of others. I don't give a crap. Call me xenophobic if you will, but take care of your own, then take care of others. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you sure as hell can't take care of another person at that point, huh? I
mean, you got to take care of your own house before you take care of other people. I know that's a cliche, and it's true though. You can't. I mean, even as an individual person, you can't take care of somebody else if you can't take care of yourself. And then the handouts. That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything. It's handout here, handout here, handout. The free stuff fairy.
Hand ups, here's my hand reaching down. I'm going to help you up to get you to this next level, and I'm done with you at that point. You take care of yourself. That's what we need. We need that, huh?
God, I'm thinking. Who do we need in the White House? Someone on staff.
The Sanchez. I like the Sanchez. He'd be good.
DeSantis.
The Sanchez. I call him whatever, DeSantis.
D Sanchez.
D Sanchez.
D apostrophe Sanchez. Aaron. Oh, good night. We have the meats. Oh, Donut Operator is just funny. If you guys don't follow Donut Operator, oh my god!
I've been watching that whole little ordeal that's been going on.
Oh my gosh! Look at his post that says "We have the meats." Who is? And I really am sorry. I can't remember his name. We had him on the show. I believe Ice talked to him.
Oh, Spike.
Not Spike Cohen. He was an E5 in the Army, bodybuilder. California. I'm gonna feel real bad when I figure out what his damn name is. We're friends on Facebook. What the hell?
You're trying to bring the TBI brain. It's not working for me at this point.
Well, you got to access some of these things. I put in
for dinner.
I put in bodybuilder in Facebook, and it's like all of these super fit people doing exercises. Dude, if you want me to buy something, show me someone who's like 40 or 50 pounds overweight working out. I don't need to see a fit model. I don't care if it's a man or a woman doing exercises on this product that you're trying to freaking sell. Show me a fat dude with a dad bod trying to lose some pounds.
They never make fun of a fat person in the gym. You just don't do it. Makes absolutely no sense at that point.
Or you never make fun of the fat person that you drive past when you're driving to work in the morning because he's doing more than you are. No, it's not this. It's not the former SEAC. Black dude. He had heart bypass surgery.
Oh, now I remember. He says, I don't want a nation of pussy. That's
pretty
much what he said.
Get your ass up and work for it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the reason he was going to be like a motivational speaker for the DOD and just go through all these sites and stuff. And they're just like, you need to tone down your language. And he's like, fuck no. It wasn't John Wayne Troxel. Oh man.
The name's on the tip of my tongue right now that you mentioned it. Like, because I remember that whole podcast. You just talk about his heart surgery and everything like that. And I was just like, damn, dude.
Okay. For it. Search item. Get your ass up and work for it, motherfucker. I figured it would come up. And this is just like song lyrics and stuff. Not Drake. It's not get your ass up. C.T. Fletcher. That's it. C.T. Fletcher. We need C.T. Fletcher in the White House.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
rather than all these people with their hands out waiting for just free stuff from Uncle Sugar, get C.T. Fletcher out there to motivate our asses. I'll throw myself in there because I'm really unmotivated at times. And just light a fire under our ass, man. We need C.T. Fletcher. Superman.
I think our government has like I hate to say it, like a Captain Save-A-Ho complex where they just want to,
Did you say Captain Save-A-Ho?
Captain Save-A-Ho complex. Like, I'm going to come in here. I'm the white knight. I'm swooping down to save the people. And they're not realized they're so disconnected from what is really going on our level and even the middle class or upper class. That they can only, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it because you hear like Nancy Pelosi talking about during the pandemic. She's like, oh, I've got me an entire deep fridge full of Ben and Jerry's, and you do the math on that. Ben and Jerry's is like what, $6, $7, $8 freaking quart, and she got a whole deep freezer full of it.
Yeah, she's in touch with her constituency.
Oh, totally. It's kind of like what the whole San Francisco whatever area was burning down, and magically her vineyards got taken care of first before everything else did while houses were burning and crap. Yeah, I got you.
I don't like class warfare at all. I don't care that Elon Musk has $222 billion. I don't care if anybody's making more money than me. I work for people that make more money than me. I work for women that make more money than me. I work for women that are of the minority class that make more. I don't care. I really don't care. They do more work than me. So guess what? They get paid more. They're educated more than me. So they get paid more. Everybody doesn't start off just on the same level.
Oh. Well, Elon Musk, they say the dude, he might be a billionaire or whatever it is, but they say they catch him sleeping under his desk at night just to catch 4 hours of sleep, man.
He slept in his office. He slept in his office when he first started out. He would program. We told that story. He would program for like 20 hours a day, sleep on the couch, get up, and then continue programming.
I think the biggest issue our country has right now is that whole college dream. It started in the 90s. You need to go to college to be successful. You need to go to college to be successful, and it's carried on, and now got an entire like 2 generations in massive debt, and they got this great education, but they can't do anything with it.
And there's also, and one thing I didn't see in this budget was the student loan forgiveness.
No.
I don't think it should be in there. I don't think it should be in there. But
it's not going to happen. But it's going to be a continual promise as long as people keep voting for people who keep promising for it.
What I would like to see is someone bring the universities into check, because I think the price, and I've analyzed this. I've paid my student loans. Okay, I think that my Elizabeth, we're on for about 15 more minutes, and then the next time we're on is probably Tuesday with Pop Culture Warrior. But Ice is coming back before the end of the month, and he'll be on Mondays and Thursdays. Where was I going with this? Student loan forgiveness. I went to college. I graduated. I had a bunch of student loans. I paid them back. They're talking about a blanket student loan forgiveness. So you're going to have doctors. You're going to have people out there that have 2-year technical degrees. All of their debts are going to be wiped out, just for nothing. But I think there is some merit to that, not a complete, like, let's just, the thing is, if you wipe out student debt, this problem is going to reemerge in about 20 or 30 years with people going to college. And then all of a sudden they've got $100,000-$200,000 worth of debt. I think that the price of college has far outpaced its value. I think the cost for a 4-year degree should probably be no more than probably $20,000. Graduate school and then post-grad stuff, if you want to be a doctor, yeah, you're going to probably spend $100,000. I don't think it should be more than that. That knowledge to become a doctor, the knowledge to become an accountant or some sort of a business person or whatever, that knowledge really hasn't changed much in years. It hasn't gotten tens of thousands of dollars better.
But the problem is you've got these universities that snatch up these professors that teach this useless class that they now tack on as you need this class for this accounting degree, even though you're never going to use it. Mm-hmm. Then you're forced to pay for the tuition of that. Then you're forced to pay for the professor's books that cost $300, $400, $500. The rest of my life, I will never ever once come back to this specific train of thought.
That's my biggest bitch from college was, and my daughter, when she was going to college too, when she was living with me, she's like, Dad, I need, here's my tuition. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And she's like, this is the book list. I'm like, okay. And then I look and some of those books, and even when I was going to college, some of the texts were nothing more than a Xerox copy of a PDF file that the professor wrote, but that's what he was teaching his class on. But I had to pay, $125 for a PDF file. My daughter was very, very smart. She's like, I am not going to buy a textbook until I absolutely need one, because it's ridiculous. So she went and graduated, and she bought very, very few textbooks because she was smart about it. She's like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I would be that. This is me. I'm the asshole that'd be like, yeah, I'll buy that PDF from you for whatever, and then turn around and tell everyone don't buy it.
And here you go.
A whole crap ton of it off and be like, $5. I just boom, make my money back. I didn't pay anything, and the professor made $125.
Elizabeth, thank you. You always have so many nice words to say. You mean a lot to us. I hope you come back. If you're gonna take off, I hope you have a great night, have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us.
I mean, what fueled this whole thing, however, was the fact that the federal government got in with the loans. That's exactly what it is. That's what fueled the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, even when I went through, there was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were doing college loans. Mine was a Fannie Mae, but I had a really good interest rate. It was 3%. I went, I paid while I was in college. After I graduated, of course I continued to pay. I got laid off and then hired back. So there was some periods of not paying where you contact them and you're like, hey, I can't pay the payment. So they say, okay, you're in forbearance and you have 1 year of forbearance. Well, during that 1 year of forbearance, you don't have to make a payment, but the interest still builds up. So I would make an interest payment every month. And then, that was even after I got divorced. I was in forbearance after that because divorce just wrecked me financially. I finally got back on my feet and, started to pay back that loan. And I was able to, I was making like double and triple payments. And I finally paid that off. And boy, was that just a weight lifted off my shoulder. Because it's like, a lot of folks are having education bills that are as much as houses.
That's insane.
Or more. I mean, doctors, I understand doctors having something like about 100,000 or so. But if you look at
anything STEM related, I can understand that. That makes sense to me. But you get an underwater basket weaving degree of medieval times.
Yeah.
Paying $250,000 for it and turn around and bitch and complain I can't find a job nowhere. That's your own dumbass fault.
Or what's the other? I saw something. It's like I have a $60,000 bachelor's degree for racial studies or racial equality studies. I'm like, dude, it's like that's almost like getting like a degree in. It's like a degree in history.
That's almost like, hey, you get an email. I'm a Nigerian prince. I've got, give me this much money. I'll give you $200 million because that's pretty much. It's turned into a scam, is what it's turned into, and these young kids don't realize it.
Or if you're gonna choose a career. You need a career counselor. Okay, I like history. Great, that's awesome. People should like history, but here are your options after you graduate. This is how much debt you're going to have. This is your final sum that you're going to have to pay back. What are you going to do? Where are you going to work? You're not going to come out of the gate working earning $100,000 a year to repay back this debt.
You know what they say? Those who cannot do teach. So I mean,
I've got
all they're doing is making more teachers at that point.
I've got a lot of respect for teachers, but yeah.
See, I have this like really weird. I guess I'd say it's like an upbringing of mine. You know, I was always told this. It's like more like the gentlemen's go to college, and the peasants just work and learn trades pretty much. Like I think Charlie Daniels said it like a rich man goes to college, poor man goes to work.
Yeah.
I believe that is if you can't physically afford to do it, go get you a trade, take night school then, pay it as you go at that point. Huh?
I think trades are very underappreciated.
High in demand right now. There's a lot of them.
And right now they're very high in demand. Learn to weld, learn to build a house,
drive a truck.
Learn to be an electrician, drive a truck. Yeah, trades actually do pay better, and they don't cost as much to learn. If it's something, I mean, don't get an education, something that you just don't want to do or hate.
Just get a trade so you can fall back on something when your, medieval studies of what duck eggs, bachelors, and I'm just being facetious at this point.
All right, moving on. Let's move on. You have a cat? You like cats?
And cats to me are outdoor animals.
You're kind of meh for cats?
No, I don't mind them when they're outside, but when they come, I don't like them inside.
So cats are something. Okay, I don't mind cats as long as they're not around me because I'm super allergic to them. So I don't mind cats. I think they're a fantastic animal. They just don't need to be around me because I'm allergic. Well, the former Australian soldier was so desperate to get his cat back that he stormed into an animal shelter and held an employee captive at gunpoint. Tony Whitman, age 45, pled guilty on Monday to charges connected to this bizarre incident, including false imprisonment for breaking into the lost dog's home outside of Melbourne, Australia. He was wearing full combat gear and was armed with a fake assault rifle. He threatened a woman who worked there to try to find his cat. The young lady pleaded with Whitman not to harm her as he repeatedly questioned her about the whereabouts of his cat and where he was being kept in the shelter. So he tied the 23-year-old woman behind her back and said, "If you do as I say and listen to me, I won't shoot you." He made her count to 100 as he left the shelter without his cat. He came back the next morning and he was arrested. Whitman, a former Australian Army guy, blamed the incident on PTS from his military service, saying that he really needed his cat for support.
I read a story somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but something along the lines of cats carry like a brain prion of some sort. Huh?
A brain what?
A prion. Like mad cow disease kind of.
I see.
Yeah. They carry it. It's in their feces, I believe. So
okay.
You have them inside your house and you're scooping it up, and you want to. That's why they say pregnant women shouldn't mess around with that. I guess litter boxes. But people get the crazy cat lady syndrome. It's their brain getting ate away by those cat. That's why I don't like them inside the house. But this guy definitely might have been affected by that. I need my cat.
Possibly.
I need my cat.
Gotta have the cat.
Gotta have the cat. Gotta protect the cat.
So I was going to do a story, and this is how many? Do you have a big family, brothers and sisters?
No, just me and my sister.
You and your sister. So that's it. 2 kids. Mom and Dad had 2 kids. I've got a brother, so that's me and my brother. My mom died when I was a kid, and my dad remarried. brought another brother. So it's me and two brothers. There is a fertile myrtle in Uganda. It was funny when we were talking about Ugandan knuckles.
Yeah.
But there was a woman, and this is incredible to me. This is almost unfathomable. And all of you women in the audience, you birthing people. I guess you can't say men or women. You're a birthing person.
Birthing person.
Miriam Nabatanzi gave birth to twins a year after she was married off at the age of 12. 5 more sets of twins followed. Do the math in your head.
5 more sets of twins.
5 more sets of twins, along with 4 sets of triplets and 5 sets of quadruplets.
12. Jeez.
3 years ago, however, the 39-year-old Ugandan woman was abandoned by her husband, leaving her to support their surviving 38 children alone. She lost a couple of kids along the way. It was just the latest shock in a life marred by tragedy for Nabatanzi, who lives with her children in 4 cramped houses made of cement blocks and topped with a corrugated roof in a village surrounded by coffee fields. After her first set of twins were born, Nabatanzi went to the doctor, and the doctor told her that she had unusually large ovaries and advised her that birth control pills would cause health problems. So, of course, the children kept coming. 38 kids.
It's got to be like a world record at that point.
I mean, I'm right. So here's go ahead. That's
how does that? I'm doing like human anatomy in my brain right now.
I mean, if you think about it, she's been nothing but pregnant since she was married.
Yeah, at that point, 12 years old, her whole life, she's just been just a baby factory at that point.
Oh, do I have the pictures? Yeah, that's her there in the middle. But then that's like most of her kids, not most of her kids. I mean, there's a bunch of older siblings that aren't there. But wow. I couldn't imagine just like, honey, I'm pregnant again. But the thing is, she's had multiple births, twins and triplets and quadruplets. Obviously, she's not on fertility medication. So if you didn't think that story was WTF enough.
So
here's another one. And then we're going to end this because apparently American sprinkles aren't good enough for those in the UK. The owner of a bakery in Northern England has been left with a bitter taste in his mouth after authorities told him that he had to stop using banned sprinkles that were sourced from the United States of America. West Yorkshire Trading Standards said that the sprinkles contained an artificial coloring which isn't approved for use in sprinkles in the United Kingdom. I'm like, what the hell? The sprinkles had the red food coloring E127 and is only permitted for use in cocktail cherries and candied cherries in the UK and the European Union. So I had to look up why. So this is from the Yorkshire Trading Standards website. Research has suggested the use of E127 has a negative effect on children's attention and behavior. But they didn't provide information on the research, but they said that was the reason.
Well, that actually is a true thing. Like kids that have real bad ADD, ADHD, or whatever it is, they suggest a lot of what do they call them? Brain doctors suggest keeping them away from like artificial dyes and stuff like that because it can actually aspirate the problems at that point.
I did not know that. So this guy,
I don't know why I know that either.
So Rich Myers, director and founder of Get Baked Bakery, I really like that. If I ever go to Northern England, I'm gonna go visit that guy.
Is this Northern England technically Scotland?
It's Scotland.
Okay.
He's in Leeds, and he's been using the sprinkles ever since he opened his business in July. He said that he bought the offending sprinkles from a UK wholesaler and said that he had no idea that there was an issue until the West Yorkshire Trading Standards Company or whatever visited his business. He goes, I thought it was a joke at first. I thought that someone was pulling a prank. British sprinkles, in my opinion, just aren't good enough. They're not worth using. Until I can find a sprinkle that's legal and worth using, I'll just have to use something else. And here I am thinking to myself, he just used the word legal sprinkles.
Government.
Taxation is theft.
Yes. This is government. This is the price we pay to live in a civilized society. You can't use sprinkles on your donuts. Because, oh no.
They got that red 127 in there.
Like
Stan Lee, because I would argue that if you have a hyper child, you have a gift with a never-ending source of energy. Put that energy to use.
Yes. Beautiful. Children are supposed to be energetic. They're supposed to. If you've got a lazy child at a young age, you might need to take them to a doctor and get them checked out. Because kids are supposed to be like little bullets bouncing all over the place. It's
naturally, with or without the sprinkles.
Yes. Yes.
Well, now's about the time that I would give like housekeeping stuff and say what kind of shows that we have coming up. And all I've got to say is Ice is coming back between Monday and the end of the month. He's coming back.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. He's just going to show up. I know he posted a really cool graphic. It's like, here's the graphic I'm going to use when I'm coming back. And it was this like Star Wars themed thing. And I asked about it. And I know he's busy. So Ice, ICE. Ice baby, not ISIS.
Oh, dear Lord. You know he hates that.
ISIS is coming back. ISIS has a show here on WTF Nation Radio on Mondays and Thursdays. Monday is the Monday edition, and Thursday he's here with Durka time. No, it's Ice. It's Ice. I know he's been away for a while, but
I forgot about him. That's the way the internet is. If you're gone for like 3 weeks, no one remembers you. That's the way the internet works.
Dude, I'm looking at the back of your chair. Is that a whoopee?
That would be not a whoopee. That's my smoker jacket.
Is that made out of a poncho liner?
It's the liner for the field jacket, but I call it a smoker's jacket because it feels just like a smoker's jacket. Like if it's cooled outside, I'm going outside to smoke. I just throw it on and wear it when it's cooled out.
That's crazy. South Dakota had a bunch of snow. Did you see that?
My sister earlier this month had snow in Colorado. So I mean,
we have a frost advisory in the Panhandle in Texas. Hard freeze in the super northwest of the Panhandle, and then just like a frost advisory in the rest of it. It's coming, man. It's coming.
Bring your plants inside.
Yeah, up there. It's still. I mean, it was a great day today. It was like 70 degrees, 73 I think was the high. It was awesome. It was a good day.
Walked out around noon. It was like about almost pushing 90. Almost pushing 90. No, it's not too bad though.
I love the cooler weather. I don't like the freezing ass weather. That shit that we had last year sucked and was really bad. But
I just like this time of year on the East Coast is because the humidity actually finally starts to dissipate a little bit, and so you can go out and actually enjoy doing things without, instantly taking a bath in your own sweat.
Oh, you're good. Well, Jim Handy's just replying to something earlier. He says 3 weeks. It took 2 months for the world to realize that Buttigieg was on vacation and that he was the transportation guy.
I said the same thing earlier. I was like, dude's been 3 weeks out and the whole world's like, hey, he needs to shit fixed.
Who's in charge of this shit? No, he's on maternity leave. Okay.
It's like, what happens when you go full woke? What do I always say? Go woke, go broke.
Go woke, go broke. It's happening, but everyone's pointing their fingers at somebody else. All right, everybody.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, all the Spider-Mans pointing to each other. Is that guy? No, it's this guy. And then the guy from Scooby-Doo going, let's see who the real culprit is. And it's a picture of himself. All right, everybody. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Elizabeth, thank you for being here. I hope you're still listening. And that's about it. We don't have any more housekeeping other than ICE is coming back. So thank you all for joining us. We love you from the deepest cockles of our heart. And we hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't kick your dog. Don't beat your spouse. And that's about it.
I don't have any. Just I want to see you all back here next week. I want to see you all back here on Tuesday. Check out the Tuesday show with CQ and the Pop Culture Warrior CQ and Radar. Radar's got his internet's back, so he's going to be joining CQ. Love y'all. Hope to see you next time. Bye.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Is it necessary for me to drink?
Radio. WTF Nation Radio.